你好. Can you believe there are only less than 2 months left in 2024? Let's do something a little different today. I'd like to introduce 5 of my favorite things or experience in October and share some real-life Chinese with you. Hopefully, this lesson will expand your Chinese vocabulary a little bit. Let's get started. I bought this yogurt at Sam's Club here in China, and it has become one of my favorite this month. Let's see what the package says. The huge font says 如实 Ru Shi, which is the brand name. By the way, this video is not sponsored. Ru Shi is actually an expression in Chinese, which means truthfully. And underneath, we have 纯净, which means purity or pure, depending on the context. If you want to drink purified water, that will be 纯净水. 纯净水. Next, we have 发酵乳. 发酵乳. 发酵 literally means fermented. And 乳 is milk. Another way to say milk is 奶. 奶. So what is 发酵乳? It's yogurt. A more common word for yogurt is 酸奶. 酸奶. And 酸 literally means sour. But when it's used together with a food, it usually means fermented. For example, 酸菜 is fermented Chinese cabbage, which tastes a lot like sauerkraut. 酸黄瓜 is pickled cucumbers. So what's the difference between 发酵乳 and 酸奶? Honestly, I didn't know until I looked it up for this video. It turns out that 酸奶 is the broader term, and there are 4 types of 酸奶 according to China's national standards. 发酵乳 is the second most strict one, which specifies that only milk can be the fermentation base without added sugar, fruit, grains, or other additives. This 如实发酵乳 has a flowy liquid texture, but tastes plain, kind of like a liquidy Greek yogurt, if that makes sense. A lot of the other 酸奶 that I can find tends to be too sweet for me, so this is perfect. In the package, we can find a spoon, 勺子, 勺子, as well as a small packet of honey, 蜂蜜, 蜂蜜. It says here, 洋槐蜂蜜, 洋槐蜂蜜. Yanghuai is acacia, the type of tree where they got this honey. Alright, let's move on. The second favorite item is a game, 游戏. 游戏. This is a Pokemon game, and Pokemon in Chinese is 宝可梦. 宝可梦. It's a phonetic translation, so there's no point breaking it down. This is the Pokemon Violet, and violet as a color is 紫. 紫. This game is called 宝可梦紫. 宝可梦紫. As you can see, I bought the Japanese version. Japan is 日本. 日本. Version of a book, an app, or a game is 版. 版. Japanese version, 日版. 日版. We only take 日 from 日本. Similarly, some of my other games are the US version, and that's 美版. 美版. We take 美 from 美国. How do you say I bought the Japanese version? 我买了日版. 我买了日版. Next October favorite item is 巧克力. 巧克力. My cousin visited me and brought these all the way from New York. Dark chocolate is 黑巧克力. 黑巧克力. Milk chocolate, 牛奶巧克力. 牛奶巧克力. How do you say caramel? 焦糖. 焦糖. Jiao is burnt, and tang is sugar. Caramel is essentially burnt sugar in Chinese. How about raspberries? 覆盆子. 覆盆子. Alright, I threw away all the mint chocolates. Mint, 薄荷. 薄荷. Mint chocolate, 薄荷巧克力. 薄荷巧克力. I've never been able to eat mint chocolate for as long as I can remember because they remind me too much of toothpaste, and that's 牙膏. 牙膏. Moving on. The next item is an old American sitcom, Cheers. Cheers, as what we say when drinking, is 干杯. 干杯. Gan is to empty, to dry, and bei is the glass. 干杯 is really bottoms up. The show Cheers is translated to 干杯酒吧. 干杯酒吧. 酒吧 is a bar. Sitcom in Chinese is 情景喜剧. 情景喜剧. 情景 is situation, and 喜剧 is comedy, so it's a pretty direct translation. The owner of the bar, Sam Malone, used to be a baseball player. Baseball in Chinese is 棒球，棒球. Bang means a bat and 球 is a ball. He was a pitcher, which is 投手,投手. Toe is the throw, and 手 here means player. How about a hitter? 击球手,击球手. 击 means to hit. My last favorite item is actually a Chinese internet slang. 三直狂掉,三直狂掉. San stands for sanity. 直 means value. 三直 refers to sanity in a board game called The Call of Cthulhu. 狂 is wildly or drastically. 掉 is to drop. 三直狂掉 means that the person has some mentally disturbing experience and they're losing their sanity. I thought it was a pretty creative way to say something is driving me crazy. Alright, that's it for today. I hope you learned some interesting words today. I'll see you in the next video. 谢谢，再见。